Thank you for calling the One Mic Show. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
This is Chief Louis. Welcome.
Can you hear us, caller?
Yes.
Yes, please tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Just looking from Atlanta.
Okay, we're having trouble hearing you, so maybe come closer.
Don't try to sound like Barry White here, please.
Yeah.
Okay. Mika, you're my cousin. You know, I know the secrets about you.
Oh, okay. Don't reveal them.
You might attempt.
It runs in the family.
Yeah.
Sauti mzuri ni ya familia.
Mukwende.
Okay, so Louis,
Yes, this is Louis from
yeah,
Atlanta.
so some very interesting information that you're giving us, and before that, shout out to Louis. He's the one who organized everything for Ferdinand Omanyala when he was here.
Akiwa
Oregon. And even before that, he first came to Atlanta, where they first met when he did that road race in Atlanta. So shout out to Chief Louis for making this work.
An old Cambrian, but carry on.
Yes. Now you have to spoil a good story.
Pachie. Haya, Chief Louis, gade twende.
Anyway, Chief Louis, this is some very shocking information that you're revealing here. So maybe just tell us a little bit, because I think most of us maybe don't know the inner workings of how someone becomes an elite marathon runner. We just see people winning in Chicago, in London, in Tokyo, but we didn't know that there are cartels and there are all these shenanigans that happens, that you could be good but no coach wants to take you. So just tell us briefly about Kelvin Kiptum's story and why most people just got to know him. Of course, he won the London Marathon, and then he came, within a very short period and broke the world record. So just give us a brief of what was happening there. Louis.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. So first, let me say I am an avid recreational runner. So that's the reason why I kind of like, I'm interested in this kind of stories. I knew about Kelvin Kiptum in 2018, actually, is when he had just begun budding into the scene. Kelvin, he was a half marathon person. He was not a full marathon person at all. He started off running about 5 half marathons, I think, of which all of them he never even finished top 3. He finished number 7 on one, number 6 on another, number 7 again on another one, number 8 on another, and then the last 3 is when he came up number 3, number 2, and then number 1. Right after that, I think it was about 11 marathons, half marathons of which he had only tried outside the country. He decided to go for a full marathon. That was his debut. And the full marathon debut, he stunned the world by coming up to breaking the world record. That's the story behind him.
Wow.
Oosh.
Yeah.
I mean,
now, for his training, Kiptum was going to school in Eldoret at Kenya Polytechnic. His dad wanted him to continue with his electrical training, but he reached a point where he said, nope, I don't feel like it. I just want to begin running. Hopefully, I think I'll be able to make it someday. So he went to E10, but the cartels in E10, even for you to just be allowed into the camp, if they don't really know you, they'll not allow you to get in there. It's not easy. You have to pay some little money. You have to at least, bribe your way in so that you can be able to find your way in there. And some of the groups, when they are being trained or maybe they have their own coaches, you cannot join them whenever they're going for their runs. So he attempted that a couple of times and he found himself very lonely. And he decided, well, I'm going to be doing my training by myself. So he found his way to a place called Florspar, somewhere in Kaptagat, where some other, just nonchalant guys training, trying to see if they could be able to make it, maybe to be somebody while training on their own, and he joined them. And that is how they run. This coach, actually, who was just among other scouts around the area, bumped into him. And he said, well, I think you have some speed. I'm going to work with you. And he asked him about his history. He said that I have tried to get good coaches, but I cannot. I even went to Kipchoge's coach, Patrick San. I asked him if he could coach me. He told me that his hands are full with Kipchoge. He cannot be able to have anybody else train, or rather to coach. And so he departed and went back to Floresborough, and that's where the Rwandese guy picked him up, and he said, let's give it a try in 2018. 2019, he did the first half marathon race, which he came number 7 or number 6. And then COVID came around, where he didn't do anything after that. And then he embarked onto heavy training a little bit after COVID. And boom, his very first race was in Valencia, where he won. He came fast in Valencia, and he broke the course record. But that was not an Abbott race. So his very first Abbott race happened to be the one in Chicago, of which he broke the world record. And that's history. That has now left us, unfortunately.
Wow.
I was going to ask, for those who may not know, could you explain what an Abbott race is?
Yes.
Because I don't know. I don't know what Abbott is.
Blind spot.
Yes.
Yeah.
So for even the listeners out there, what is Abbott race?
What's an Abbott race?
And how do you qualify to be
Louis?
Abbott?
An Abbott is just an organization that puts up these world-ranked races together. So it's more like maybe is it IAAF or something like that for marathon races. That's just what it is. It's just a body that's, it's kind
of like IRB.
The ones who are good.
Yes.
So this is like IRB putting up the 7th circuit.
So think about it.
Exactly.
Think about the circuit. So the Abbott races are in the U.S. There's Chicago, New York, Boston, and then now outside the US there's London, Tokyo, which is the other one, Berlin. Yeah.
Berlin.
So those are the elites. Those are the most elite.
And now South
marathon
Africa
races.
probably.
And now South Africa. That thing is bothering. I love South Africa. I love me some South Africa. I love me some Zulus and Xhosas, but I don't know. I don't know. Like this thing has bothered me, and that's the reason why I'm so glad
Kenya,
we have Louis here telling us
actually,
about this.
Kenya had applied for it to have an Abbott marathon race in Kenya, but they did not meet the requirements. I don't know exactly what word to use, but Kenya did not meet the threshold for them to be able to host an Abbott major race. That's the reason why they went down to South Africa in Cape Town.
That's interesting. So at least we attempted, we applied.
They tried, yes. Kenya tried.
But now the question...
They were dismissed. Ethiopia also tried. They were also dismissed.
But now the question would be, what exactly do they look for?
Yeah, what are the requirements?
The requirements to qualify to have an Abbott race.
Louis, go research for us.
Yes, please. And what is it that we missed to have? Because this is crazy.
Because you can't be having the top runners in the world.
One, but look at it this way: the same way we are having the World Cup coming down over here. So obviously, very many cities tried to request, and apply for them to host. And there are many reasons behind it, of which the organizers of the World Cup committee decided to go to Texas and Atlanta, and I think maybe it's New Jersey or something like that. They had
Kansas of all places. Or is it Missouri?
Kansas,
So any reasons to why the Abbott races get to be ratified, first of all, I have no idea. Trust me, honestly, I do not know. I don't know how they do it.
Okay, but good. But
you can tell that there are major players who are out there. These are countries, of course, that are seeing so much revenue that is coming in. And if you cannot market and present yourself very well and clearly, then trust me, you're going to fail. And I don't think Kenya has that muscle.
Wow,